So the self-pity series went really well. Lots of great compliments, lots of questions. I'm so glad that many of you reached out because it was a great success. Today I'm going to talk about something that a lot of you have asked me about, and it's going to be really touchy, and it's going to have to be very strategic because a lot of you betrayed spouses have asked me thoughts on how do you deal with self-pity as a betrayed spouse. Now, I need you to know that I am always super cautious about discussing things from the betrayed spouse's perspective because I am not a former betrayed spouse. I live with one. So I bounce almost everything off of Samantha, as well as Rick, as well as a few other trusted sources. But I'm always reticent to answer these questions because it's just touchy. It's just one of those things where I don't want to offend you or try and tell you what you're feeling, because if anything will get you stabbed, try and tell a betrayed spouse what they're feeling and be wrong. Get ready. It doesn't go well. So here's some thoughts for you on how to deal with self-pity as a betrayed spouse. Number one, I want to applaud you at the very fact that you would have the redemptive audacity to want to address it. Many betrayed spouses would rather sit and maybe stay there. But you have asked me, how do I deal with this? I don't want to live like this. And man, that's half the battle, quite honestly. The fact that you don't want to stay there, the fact that you don't want to be a prisoner to self-pity is really to be applauded, to be encouraged, and is a great sign for your recovery. First, some thoughts on self-pity. A lot of times, self-pity is kind of the lesser shame. We would rather choose self-pity than have to confront the enormity of what we're feeling, and in this case, as a betrayed spouse, embarrassment, humiliation, rage, devastation. Sometimes we'd rather not confront those things, inadequacy, all of the insecurities that come from being a betrayed spouse. We'd rather not confront those. We'd rather stay in self-pity. One of the ways to overcome self-pity is to actually go head on and confront the inadequacy that you might be feeling, the rage, the anger, the humiliation, the embarrassment. I mean, the adjectives, the vernacular goes on forever. So part of the journey is confronting those things, not just staying in self-pity. One of the ways that Samantha dealt with the enticing self-pity that she felt was to realize and to decide, I'm not going to stay here forever. Like, it hurts like hell. I'm devastated. My whole world has been ripped apart, but I'm not going to call this home. This isn't going to be the rest of my life. Yes, my marriage is uncertain, but I'm not going to stay here. I'm deciding not to live in this place. I'm not doomed. I'm not cursed. My life is not over. I'm in the middle of trauma. I'm in the middle of tragedy, but this is not where I'm going to live the rest of my life. One of the things that she said to me this morning as I was preparing is she said, I had a choice, and I chose not to allow this to define the way I was going to be as a woman the rest of my life. And so you have a choice on how you respond to the enormity of the devastation that you're combing through. You still have a choice. You still have the opportunity to decide how you're going to respond. A second way that Samantha and other people deal with self-pity is they stay active. Samantha worked out a lot. She continued to go on walks and to run and to do different types of cathartic exercises because that helped her feel good. It helped her feel active. It helped her feel like she had some form of release for the pent-up anger and struggle and anxiety that she was feeling. And so a lot of betrayed spouses, they just will get active. Just the other day, I talked to a betrayed spouse who went and bought a heavy bag. one of those big heavy punching bags and put it in the garage. She paid and had it installed. And she beats the crap out of it a couple of times a week. And she loves it. Nothing wrong with that. But you've got to be active. You've got to have some way to be cathartic, and it may even be walking. It may be going on long walks to just process. An essential part of warring against self-pity is finding a safe community with a safe third party. Again, it needs to be same-sex, that you can vent to, that you can cry with, that you can just get it all out on the table, and they're going to love you, and they're going to care for you, and they're going to support you. But you also need a community like some of the things on Affair Recovery's website, whether it be the EMS Online, Harboring Hope, or an EMS Weekend. Samantha felt wonderful when she saw other people in worse circumstances. She felt so much better when she had another woman that she could relate to and cry with and encourage one another, not commiserate, because commiserating does nothing to help you. The difference between commiserating and identifying with one another is encouraging one another not to stay where you're at. That you still can get healthy. You can read as much as you can read. You can study. You can do work, but not just do work, apply the work to move forward. I hope that this has helped you. If you have some things that have helped you stay out of self-pity, post them on the site. Reach out on Twitter. Give me some thoughts on what has helped you, because I hope this has communicated what has really helped Samantha fight against self-pity.